Well, the start of a new week for us here at CutieCast TV and Man with the Show. We do apologize for some of our inactivity. We're just trying to make some changes. There were some issues that came up. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and supporting this show. It's very important that we continue this because basically YouTube is no help on us on there. They rather promote big corporations, but where their money was coming from was from the little guys like me and many other YouTube creators out there. And they're still making money off of us and taking away money from us that we are well deserved of getting for the work we do. We bring them in the advertising dollars. But I'm not going to hark on that. I digress. Once again, thank you for tuning in, Man with the Show on CutieCast TV. A lot of stuff is going on right now, and it's just going insane. And the reason is you have situations, you have the streaming wars going on, a lot that's going on in anime, a lot of changes on TV shows, and let me take a sip here. One of the things, and this particular episode is just going to be purely rumor. We're going to speculate on this. It's just rumor on there. But I believe there is some hint on there, fact on there that may come true on this. Because I know Disney is not done with this series. Now, you remember one of the agreements that basically was done with Netflix was that basically they would be ending all the Marvel TV shows on Netflix. Well, it looks like that, yes, it is over on Netflix, but looks like from the rumors that we're getting, and basically it's starting to increase a bit, but it looks like that a lot of the shows that were canceled may be coming back. Defenders, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, all these series probably might be coming back with the original crew. And that is a good thing because, you never know when you look at these situations like this and you say to yourself, oh, man, I like the Daredevil show. I like the Luke Cage series. Jessica Jones was okay. Iron Fist was... They could have done better with Defenders. But basically, when you look at the perspective that what Disney is doing right now, they're trying to put up as many shows as possible. And, when you look at it in that perspective, that they're trying to buy into most into a lot of stuff, even though they have a large extensive library. I think, what was it? I think it's like they're going to start out with over 650 to 700 movies and TV series on just day one. I think there's a 3.5 hour Twitter video that they put up that basically shows that this is going on. You hear that little shaking in the background. I have a nice little drink there. Keep the palate going. But basically, when you have that much, you still have to feel in some newer stuff on there. And, you can't rely on a lot of the older stuff. And see, this is why Netflix is working out for itself. I mean, Netflix is starting to boost back up with a lot of the series that they're doing and stuff like that. I mean, we just had recently what was it? The El Camino, which is the Breaking Bad movie. I thought that was excellent. It was very well done. I liked that had an ending for Jesse Pinkman, and then it was done properly. It was shot properly. Some people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it on there. And there's a couple of other series and stuff like that. Big Mouth is excellent, and Big Mouth is getting a spin-off on there. So it's like, we're going to talk about that later on time. Basically, the world of the hormone monsters and all the other creatures that come up on there. Now that we have like a menstrual witch, I think that's what we'll go over that. It's a bit of some perks if you haven't seen Big Mouth yet this season. There's some crazy stuff on it this year. But nevertheless, you see, a lot of people saying that, Disney's going to blow out Netflix or Apple's going to blow out Netflix. You know what the difference is with Netflix? Netflix has the advantage, and they're doing these programming, and I think that's what Disney is seeing as well, is that Netflix already has a hold, and they've been doing this for a couple of years now, and they know what they're doing. They've already, as they say, they've already put their feet in the water. All these other companies, with the exception of Amazon and basically a couple of smaller sites, haven't really dipped their feet in the water in all this. And I'll tell you why. Because basically they've just trying to put these together, and they just not sit down and test these systems out. They're just throwing them out there. HBO Max might be a little bit of a different situation, but you're talking about Warner, HBO, and a couple other sites mixed in together into one. But I think together they're going to have some issues. Amazon is pretty good on their program, but they basically on their older stuff and stuff to rent right now. Now, what's keeping them up is that they do have their own Amazon Prime movies and stuff like that they make their own, but it's not as abundant as some of the other sites. And then they have the secondary sites, stuff like Shudder and a couple others that do their own programming as well on there. And I keep telling you, pay attention to Shudder. Shudder has a lot of stuff on there, including the Creepshow TV series, which is doing very well. But when you hear that they want to put Daredevil and all that back into motion, as far as with the contracts we know, it's 2 years that they can't touch it. But that could change. Things could be renegotiated. Can we deal with seeing another, more Daredevil from the point that they left off on? Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. Especially the Luke Cage stuff. The Jessica Jones, they might need to retweak a little bit. That last season wasn't good. Same thing with the Iron Fist. I wouldn't steer on the Iron Fist one. I wouldn't steer off of that storyline, but they need to tweak it a bit. Punisher, they need to retreat the whole thing once again on that one, because that last season just really was horrendous on there. I don't know where they were going with that one. But, to put them back together again and have all that out, it's going to be a good push for Disney with all the problems that they've been going through when we've discussed the problems that they're going through, and it's continuing left and right on them, whether it's corporate or the amusement parks. We're going to see in November how their systems end up, holding up, because I'm predicting, and I hate to tell this on Disney, and I don't wish bad things on you, but I think there are going to be some issues on day one. And I think there's going to be some crashes, which is, it's going to happen. Happened to Shudder, when they had the Joe Bob Briggs come back with his series, when they had the special. It crashed the servers. It can happen. You have too many people on there. When you have something like Disney, and, a lot of parents want babysitters now, and I hate to say this, they're going to end up using them as babysitters. You're going to have a lot of people signing into these systems. And, when you have like someone like Netflix that's been doing it a long time, and they've balanced out their systems to handle overloads. Disney, I don't think they're there yet. Hopefully they'll test it prior to that. I know that the system technically is online for certain people to try it out. But I think they should try a couple of overloads and, see what happens. Because basically, you never know what's going to happen on day one when this occurs. But getting back, one last thing on here. The good thing now, because especially now that, we know Kevin Feige's taking over the movie and TV altogether, is I think we'll be able to get more of a Marvel universe that it won't be mentioned in the background like a little bit or confused of when it is, like Agents of Shields was this season. You will probably hear in the background in the news that something was going on, or something will go right by, that basically is part of something else that's part of the Marvel Universe. You might have Doctor Strange fly on by fighting some villain on there, and they're like, let him handle it, But it's amazing how things are handled this way, and it should be handled this way, and it wasn't. And that's why you got to put your thinking caps on when you do stuff like this. You do it all together, or you don't do it at all. So comment below. Tell me, how do you feel about this? And like I said, this is just a rumor, but I think it's pretty certain that it'll probably turn into a fact on there, because like I said, Disney needs programming on there. Tell me how you feel about all the streaming sites. I mean, Disney, which one you think is going to be successful? I'm going to say Netflix is going to stay up there. I mean, the last readings we just took recently, they're starting to gain back a lot of the subscribers they lost on the last run, and they're starting to make money again. And they are doing good programming on there. I mean, we had El Camino, Big Mouth, and a couple of other things that have been on the Netflix channel. I think, this coming week, we have the Dolomite movie with Eddie Murphy, which I hear is supposed to be pretty decent. Because I love Dolomite. If you, Rudy Ray Moore, if you haven't seen a Rudy Ray Moore movie or seen any of his comedy, you'll be in for one of the biggest surprises of your life. Rudy Ray Moore is just one crazy guy, you got to love the movies that he made on there. And in fact, you can see if you have Amazon Prime, Dolomite is available on there, that movie. But Eddie Murphy's going to be playing the Rudy Ray Moore character, his life, trying to get into the movies on there, and the difficulty of that time period on there. But that's, sort of the beginning of the 70s exploitation, the black exploitation movies of that time period, because there was so many of it. And the Dolomite happens to be one of the big ones on there that most people don't flip back to. You always hear some of the others, Three the Hard Way. What am I thinking? There's like a couple of others on there. Lady Cleopatra. A lot of the Pam Grier movies, and there's so many that you could think that you could put through, but then Dolomite doesn't come up on there. So once again, comment below. Tell me. Thank you again for subscribing, supporting the show, liking on there. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard to new subscribers. I know we got like a couple over the weekend. Thank you very much. Once again, continue to watch. It's a help to us. There's so much that we're trying to put together for you, but there's some obstacles in the way, and we're trying to push through them. We're here, we're doing our best. Like I said, we're making some changes. Like you say, you hear the audio, we're still tweaking some stuff on audio. So until the next video, thank you for tuning in to Man with a Show on QTCast TV.